Alright, let's pause real quick. So this video might be a little weird since I've never done anything like this before, but I think y'all already know what's about to come up in the next few seconds. So a couple of weeks ago, I've asked you guys in one of my community posts on YouTube if I should make a behind the scenes video for my new Roblox plane crash movie that released about 2 months ago already, and well, I guess it would be time to make one. So here you go, so enjoy. Don't worry, there'll be bloopers and gets and shiggles at the end. By the way, this video contains spoilers for those who haven't watched the movie yet, so there will be a link to the movie up here for those who haven't watched it yet. And yeah, let's get it. So before even explaining about the entire movie production, I want to go back in time to early 2024 and give some brief details on the beginning of the story. During and around the months of either March or April of 2024, I had already planned on what the next aircraft would be featured in the next crash film I was planning to write. Only during that time I had only created a custom cabin designed for the Boeing 757. This is also featured in a Roblox game I had made for custom cabin designs for my films, so you can check that down in the description if y'all want. So after I was done finished with the design cabin, I went on hiatus on both YouTube and the project. Hey, I was just trying to go outside and live life again, you know. Anyways, many months had passed and I completely ignored about the movie script idea and it was just barely uploading regular videos at the time. As more months passed all the way forwarding to Christmas time, I finally found a motivation to keep my channel alive and start posting again. Realizing that leaving behind a dead old movie project, I was definitely ready to make a huge surprising comeback. So it all started on December 31st, 2024, also known as New Year's Eve. I just created a new writing script to brainstorm and write the next movie. However, it had been almost 2 years since I've ever last produced my own films, so it was pretty hard for me to gain back my skills and come up with a way to continue the plot again. So after completing the script and listening to the available voice actors I needed for the movie, it was then time to film. The voice acting production was pretty interesting since I needed new voice actors since a few original voice actors were no longer available. I still managed to bring back some of the OG voice actors to help voice act some lines. Since there were a lot of roles to fill in and I was running out of voice actors, I decided to get some of my other friends on Discord and my IRL friends from school to help voice act. Some of the new unfamiliar voice actors that were partially my IRL friends had a little note to experience of voice acting, but they were pretty decent overall. During the new investigation with the investigators at the beginning of the movie, I've also had the same built custom investigation lab room that was mostly used in some of the old films like Near Miss and Fallout. The interview scene was also a custom room build I made just before beginning production. And yes, all of my creations were built in Roblox Studio for crushing that. Filming some scenes that required background characters was the most difficult part for me to film, and let me tell you why. You see, I have a Discord server and all, but it's practically dead at this point right now and not really as active anymore. So it was really hard for me to just keep begging my server members to help be background characters in the airport scenes, but I'd highly recommend you join my Discord server if you want to be part of videos and films. Wink wink. Small scenes like the flight board and the TV were also used to add a bit of realism to the film. The TV also had a green screen in Roblox Studio, that way I could just remove it in Davinci Resolve and add the news channel over it. This also goes for the same situation for the phone scene where the baby is watching Mr. Pisser and playing Clash Royale. For this little part I was able to crop and slide down the actual save image of the flight board and cover the actual PTFS flight boards that aren't the best looking ever. So while filming the ground crew scene, I came up with the thought to leave a scene where the ground crew worker drives and hears something drop on the taxiway but doesn't notice it and leaves, then hinting a foreshadowing scene for viewers to notice. Getting to the boarding scene where Alex boards the plane, which we'll get to him and his friend in a second. Coming back to the custom cabin, I also designed the seats to match the real life leather seats on how it would match on a Delta Boeing 757. If you notice, it was raining in the setting of San Diego Airport. I've also added a free model raindrop outside the windows to make it more realistic. In the boarding scene, you got two protagonists, Chick and Alex. I thought of adding a best friend group would be better than just having random passengers meet and talk to each other on the flight. After the pushback tug update was just released before even filming the pushback scene, I was so delighted and happy after pushback tugs were added to PTFS for better realism and role-playing. I was so glad I didn't have to worry about having to record the plane pushing back with absolutely nothing, as it always be shown in the older films. So during filming the plane's taxi to the runway, I thought of adding a line of planes on the taxiway to make it look like the flights were taking long to take off due to the heavy storm. The takeoff part was a little challenging to film, not just because the wind speed settings in the game were almost at max. It was a little difficult to doing a low takeoff to add realism to the takeoff scene. I even wasn't prepared for how much takes I had to get. Oh my god, okay, now do it, now do it. Oh, what the hell? Oh my god. Oh my god.
Bro. Am I messing it up already?
Who? No,
me, bro, what?
What the hell?
Look, I swear, bro.
Alright, now. Alright, do now.
Oh my god.
What the hell?
Dude, what? I swear I went up, bro. Oh my god. Bro, I'm not even playing with you, bro.
During the turbulent scene, since the flight attendant was just walking down the aisle and getting people's meal orders, I thought of the idea of adding a little funny by having the flight attendant jumping around and being rotated around with admin commands. I was also controlling the flight attendant's movements as well with my handy dandy alt account. During the movements was pretty hard because every time I hit a C, I'd accidentally sit in one and would mess up the recording. The seatbelt sign was pretty self-explanatory. How I managed to make the seatbelt sign disappear and reappear was by adding a black shape in Davinci Resolve and added a very tiny cross-dissolve fade to make it appear, and then vice versa. This also goes to the same situation with the landing gear air pressure alarm. I didn't get a lot of requests as to how I did this, but I was pretty hyped about actually getting to add my own custom landing gear animation during the approach scene. I first got a free model 757 off Roblox Studio, and then simply break it apart sort of just to show the bottom of the wing and the rear landing gear. Now for the landing gear animation, I basically use a welding plugin from Roblox Studio and use it to add pivots on top of the landing gears so it can be able to anchor both of the pivots and the main structure of the landing gear. To animate it, I used the motor that was given and changed the desired angle I wanted to stop at and changed its max velocity to go at slower speed. It took me a while to figure out how to make it go in the right direction and go up and down, but I was starting to get the hang of it after all. After that was done, I added a green screen in front of the wing and the camera's facing it. Then used a 3D cube from Davinci Resolve and removed the green. You can even see the annoying artifacts that was shown during the scene. Filming the crash landing scene was a lot of work, to be honest. Not only had to take almost 6 shots of the same landing gear over and over, it had to be exactly right and get it right timing of when the right rear landing gear collapsed and makes the plane slide off the runway. I almost hesitated asking my Discord server to come and film the evacuation scene where the passengers would leave the aircraft and ride on the transit bus back to the airport terminal. But as I've said before, my Discord server wasn't as active anymore, so I decided to scrap the scene and only have the emergency trucks and helicopters show up to the scene. Shortly after the plane is just sitting next to the runway, we're sent back to the first officer who's just glaring at the crashed plane sitting by the runway, and meets up with one of the paramedics who tells him that the captain, who was also the main protagonist, has suffered a concussion during impact. Then shortly after, we have the two protagonists, Chicky and Alex, that are currently stranded at Chicago O'Hare Airport and missing their connecting flight to New Jersey, then realize they could stay in a hotel for the remainder of the time. Could we possibly see these two characters reappear in the next film? And once again, shortly after, we're set to a mysterious man staring at the news channel screen in a drastic way. He then races out of the scene at the very end after hearing the phrase from the news reporter.
Is aviation in shambles? Or are these accidents? Aren't accidents at all?
Could we also see this person show up in the next film later on? And by the way, that is not me if you're wondering. So yeah, with that being said, I think it's time for some Easter eggs and stuff y'all might not notice from the film. The scene where the investigator asks the Heathrow air traffic controller actually takes place during the time period right before JetBlue Flight 132 had crashed the day before. So before I explain, who is Jackson, also known as the main protagonist of the film? For people who actually know about the storyline, if y'all ever watched Near Miss, the second protagonist by the name Jackson was first featured in that film as just a regular passenger getting to Portland from staying in Tokyo. Just fast forwarding to a couple years later, he then became a student pilot and then advancing to commercial piloting, just now getting hired to Delta Airlines. The scene where Jackson enters the airport terminal at San Diego Airport and asks a random dude where gate 7 is. So the original airport that he entered at first was filmed inside the Greater Rockford Airport Terminal, and let me first tell you why. First off, since the main airport that we filmed in second was Atlantica Airport to represent San Diego's terminal, even though realism was not really the main priority of this film, the Atlantica Airport PTFS didn't have an actual good realistic looking entry. Since the door entry wasn't in front of the airport, it then made it look like the captain had to make a long walk to the gate where his next flight would be at. And by the way, that part was filmed inside a public server. That's why you might see a parked Boeing 707 on the left. Bro, there's like 2 identical versions of me. One looking at the soda machine and the other one just chilling on a bench. That hard landing sound effect actually comes from a raw footage of getting a hard landing bounce sound from Microsoft Flight Simulator to add a little bit of realism to the landing. Here's a free auto recording if you'd like to hear it.
Clear to land runway 01 left.
60, 50, 40, 30, 20, retard.
Clear to land runway 01 left, number 4, Qantas 9er tree 2. Clink 217.
By the way, that custom public restroom was not made by me. Bro, is that Travis Kelce crashing out? Bro, I don't even know what the investigators are even planning about.
Just 1 apple juice would be fine.
Sure, that's $15.
Or you know what, that's okay, I'm good, thank you.
There's literally no way apple juice costs $15 on a flight. Bro might be wanted. If you know, you know. If y'all didn't realize, when the news reporter from San Diego reports about the Emirates A380 making an emergency landing at Dubai Airport, it's the same exact flight that was shown at the very end of the movie Fallout. This film was originally supposed to be released on the day of Super Bowl 59. That's why you probably heard and saw a few Super Bowl 59 references showing Jalen Hurts holding the Lombardi Trophy in the news channel Chicago. And you can even hear the airport announcer from San Diego wanting to go home and watch the Super Bowl.
I'd probably want to go home and watch Super Bowl 59.
Bro, y'all better watch out for the PTFS thugs, bro. They out there and they ain't playing around. And now I think it's time to present the gets and shiggles of producing the movie. So enjoy these clips. Ready?
Yep.
Alright, 3, 2, 1, go. What the?
Oh, my bad.
Oh
Okay, I redo that. Redo.
Sorry. Wait, how do I pull up? I just point up, right?
Yeah, don't do too.
Okay.
Do too fast. Oh my god. Okay, now do it. Now do it. Now. Oh, what the hell? Oh my god. Oh my god.
Bro. Wait.
What's good?
Rotate means just like go up, right?
Yeah, go up. Yeah, I should have been like simplistic earlier.
Oh, I'm scared. So wait, where should I keep my cursor so it doesn't like?
You just like see if you know the horizon. You know what horizon is like the.
Yeah.
Just keep it in the middle of the screen.
All right, I'll try, yo. But it's like my. Okay, fine, bro. Fine. I'll try. I'll try not to
You
miss.
try it. No,
Me, bro.
you're
What?
perfect. What the hell?
Look, I swear, bro.
Oh, alright, now. Alright, do now.
Oh my
Oh
god.
my gosh. Actually,
Oh
I need to no, low-key, I need to fix it. It's because having it wins.
Oh my god.
Oh, I think I'll just pass it. Yeah,
Oh.
okay. Remember, it's
Okay, let me
it's
lock
to
in.
do with the Valkyrie.
Let me lock in, Davinci.
Okay,
Lock in.
I'm stuck. Why am I turning? I'm gonna.
Okay, rotate.
Wait, did I do it right or? Oh my gosh, bro. Oh my. Why does it keep going off center, bro?
And I'll tell you when to sit down on the chair.
All right.
And you can sit down on it in 3, 2, 1. Oh my god. No.
We good?
Oh, you're supposed to. So you're supposed to sit on the Cheeto dust.
Oh.
Now read it, ass.
Yeah, yeah.
He's supposed to sit on the shit.
All
right.
Okay, ready?
All right. Huh?
3, 2, 1. Perfect.
Oh, I think I pooped.
It's-
Uh-oh. I think I made a mistake. Cheeto dust ain't supposed to look brown. My bad. Cheeto dust is
No
supposed to
wonder it smells like shit. I thought Delta was a shitty airline, but you're the shitty one here.
look...
Well, that's gonna wrap up this behind the scenes video. I'd really like to thank everyone who helped me make the movie Collapse. It was pretty fun making the film, even though there were a few ups and downs filming it, since it's been quite a while since I went on hiatus for quite a bit. But I still found the movie still be entertaining and cool, and hopefully y'all did too. And again, I'd like to thank my production crew for continuing my Crash Film series. And if y'all want to see more of the storyline, I'll put up the playlist up here, in case y'all missed it. And I think that should be about it for this video, and I'll see y'all in the next one.